What if I told you that the chaos in your life right now isn't random, but a hidden warning that God sends just before your breakthrough? Few people recognize it, and even fewer respond correctly. You pray for elevation, for a new season, for open doors, but what shows up first is resistance, silence, and a strange sense that everything is falling apart. That is not coincidence. That was a divine setup. God is not punishing you. He is positioning you. But here's the shocking truth. Every spiritual promotion comes wrapped in a problem. Consider the story of Joseph. He was thrown into a pit before he reached the palace. Before the throne, there was betrayal. His brothers hated him, sold him, stripped him of what was his. And yet God was secretly orchestrating a rise to power through every painful step. The warning was there, in the betrayal, in the prison, in the silence, but Joseph never lost his posture of faith. Now ask yourself, what is God trying to warn you about in this exact moment of pain?
The real question isn't, why am I suffering? It says, what is God shaking loose from my life so I can step into what's next? The abrupt breakdown of a relationship should serve as a warning. The opportunity that eluded you should also be taken into consideration. There's a weight on your shoulders that refuses to let go. This is not meant to be a punishment, a preparation. God is exposing what can't come with you in your next season. He is burning away falsehoods to reveal what is pure. Look at Moses. Despite being raised in Pharaoh's palace, trained in luxury and favored in power, God sends Moses to the backside of the desert for 40 years. Why? The warning hidden inside that wilderness is this: you're not ready to lead until you've learned to follow me in silence. Some of you are in a spiritual wilderness right now, and instead of asking, how long will this last? You need to be asking, what is God trying to teach me before he launches me? Your spirit's tension, restlessness, and irritation with the status quo are more than just emotions. They represent spiritual friction. God is rubbing away the comfort that pushes you toward your calling.
Here's the secret few people understand. God's warnings rarely come with thunder and lightning. They come as whispers in chaos. They come with blocked doors, drained friendships, and failed plans. They come when your timeline doesn't match heaven's, and they come when you're being called higher, but your character isn't there yet. So he warns you. By shaking what you depend on, similar to Peter, who confidently walked on the water, his faith faltered when he glanced at the wind. The storm was the warning. Keep your eyes on Jesus, or you will sink. And that warning still echoes today. Some of you are walking towards something miraculous, but you are being distracted by what you see instead of being anchored in what he said. If God spoke it, if he promised it, if it's rooted in truth, then the shaking you feel isn't the end of the story. It's the opening scene of a breakthrough.
But the enemy knows this too. That's why right before breakthrough, your spiritual warfare intensifies. Your increased tiredness is not random. That your sleep is interrupted. That your old temptations are creeping back and your self-worth, calling, and voice are suddenly questioned. This is how the enemy tries to confuse the warning signs. He mimics God's whisper with distractions. But here's how you tell the difference. The devil's voice brings panic, shame, and confusion. God's voice brings clarity, conviction, and peace, even in the storm. Isaiah 30:21 says, "Your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, 'This is the way. Walk in it.'" That voice still speaks. But if you're drowning in noise, you'll miss the most critical direction of your life. That's why, before every divine release, God permits a process of stripping away. He allows what doesn't fit anymore to fall off. Habits, relationships, pride, false security. These things don't disappear because of a curse. You lose them because you're growing. God is warning you not to build your next season on unstable ground. So what do you do when the warning comes? You lean in, you press in harder, you fast, you pray, you shut off the world's volume and turn up the frequency of heaven. You don't retreat, you advance. Remember Esther, her entire nation was facing annihilation, and the warning came through a man named Mordecai. Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. Not everyone recognized the urgency, but she did. And because she responded to the warning, history changed.
Are you addressing the signs, or are you overlooking them because they are uncomfortable? Breakthrough doesn't always feel like a miracle. It often feels like heartbreak first, but Romans 8:28 says that all things, not some, but all work together for good for those who love God. That means your tears are working for you. Your delays are working for you. Even the betrayal is working for you. And the hidden warning, that's your invitation to go deeper. God doesn't warn to scare you. He warns to prepare you. He exposes the weaknesses to ensure your purpose doesn't rest on a precarious foundation. He reveals the motives of people around you not to isolate you, but to protect your assignment. Don't ignore the red flags in this season. Don't dismiss the unease in your spirit. Don't drown out the whisper with busyness. If you're uncomfortable, if you feel stretched, if you're asking God, what is happening to me? Chances are, the breakthrough is closer than you think. That's why the fire is hotter. That's why the silence is louder. That's why the enemy is angrier. Heaven is making room. And that hidden warning, that's your sign to get ready. So stay alert. Stay consecrated. Stay in alignment, because the shaking is not to destroy you. It's to wake you. It's to position you. It's to say, the promise is still coming. But only if you're listening.